Well,
What's wrong?
good evening. Okay, welcome to our October 7, 2025 City Council meeting. And right now, 7 p.m., and the meeting is now in session. Any person wish to address to City Council during the oral communication must complete a speaker card that is provided at the entrance to the council chamber and submit to the card to the Assistant City Clerk. That will be Assistant City Manager prior to the commencement of oral communication. Speaker card will not be accepted after oral communication has started. 9. Invocation will be led by Pastor Samuel Martinez, and the Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Heavenly Father, as we gather here this evening, we thank you for all the rich freedoms that we enjoy in America. We thank you, Father, for even the privilege, the right to gather together here as we discuss city business. We thank you for our mayor. We thank you for all the city council, our city manager, and we thank you for our police chief and our fire chief. And we thank you for all those that are in authority in the city. Remembering the admonition of St. Paul, to pray for all that are in authority. We pray for divine wisdom and divine direction. We remember the admonition of King Solomon of old, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him. He will direct your path. Father, we thank you that your path is the best path. Father, we speak divine protection over our schools. We pray that our neighborhoods will continue to be safe. We pray that you protect our police officers, Father, even those that may be out there in the streets tonight. And we pray that our city, Father, as Jesus said, will continue to be like a city set on a hill whose light cannot be hid. May this city be a true light in the San Gabriel Valley and in California. And we thank you for the direction of the Holy Spirit in all the affairs that are going to be discussed this evening. In Jesus' name. Thank you, sir. Amen.
Amen.
Please face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a seat, please. Okay, Assistant City Manager, roll call, please.
Councilman Contos.
Here.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
Present.
Mayor Wu.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And City Attorney, do you have anything to report from closed session?
Nothing to report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before I move to presentation, I want to move the Assistant Acting City Manager report before the oral communication. Anybody against that? If not, okay, thank you. Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Since we're on the discussing the agenda, I'd like to move to postpone item number 11 to be considered in May 2026. This relates to the education requirement.
You want to move to when?
If that's the right agenda item number 11.
Okay, you want to...
I'd like to move to postpone consideration on that item till the second City Council meeting in May 2026.
May?
May 20, yes.
It's October now.
Yes, I know.
Next year?
Yes.
What's the reason?
What's the reason?
I just want us to continue to stabilize and everything, but I right now it's not just discussion. I just made the motion.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay, and roll call, please.
Wait. So, sorry.
So you want to move to the May next year?
So move this discussion till next year?
Yes.
This also, I mean, we have a lot of positions opening. This is the degree 2 for any of the positions.
I understand.
And I will disagree. I think we should move the CT rather than wait till
All the
next.
questions.
Well, he made the motion.
Okay, that's okay. Let's do it. Okay, and you have first, and we have second till May next year. Okay, roll call, please. So basically, you want to postpone this till May next year.
Yes.
Okay.
Second city council meeting in May.
May. Okay, and roll call, please.
Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
No.
Mayor Wu.
No. Motion approved 3-2. Okay. Let's go. Any other people want to move anything? Otherwise, I'm going to go to the presentation. Okay, we have a first presentation. Okay, proclamation recognize the Fire Prevention Week. Could we have our assistant chief, fire chief? Okay, very good. Jim Rudolph. Okay, would you please come up? Okay, I think we just attend your fire prevention open house Saturday at the Station 2, and it's a great event. Okay, and we were there 10 o'clock, and basically, we see a lot of a good program from you about how to prevent fire for the household. So maybe you want to invite some of your staff to maybe give us some presentation. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor Wu, council members. I'd like to invite Liliana Galvez and Claire Johnson down from our fire prevention staff. Every year since 1922, the National Fire Protection Association has designated the week around October 9th as Fire Prevention Week. And they choose a topic, and this topic this year happens to be Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-ion Batteries in the Home. We know we have more chargeable items in our home, whether it's a cell phone or a computer or a cordless item that we use in the home. It's important to have fire safety when we're using batteries, and especially rechargeable batteries. And I won't steal the thunder from my fire prevention staff. Claire, do you have anything you'd like to add?
You basically covered everything. Just wanted to say that every year, it's Fire Prevention Week, the NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, works with the fire departments and provides a theme, just like Chief Woodruff said. Really stresses this year to buy, charge, and recycle safely when it comes to lithium-ion batteries, because those fires can grow fast and are hard to put out. So if you do find yourself with a battery fire, just remain outside and stay outside, and call 911 from outside your home.
Just a reminder to the residents to make sure your smoke alarms are working and have a fire escape route. In case of a home fire, it's a life-changing matter where it can save your life and give you the time to exit safely outside.
Thank you. As Mayor Wu opened with, we had our fire prevention open house at Fire Station 2 this last weekend. We host it every year. We have a wonderful contest for the students to take the theme from National Fire Protection Association and draw some beautiful pictures. In the near future, we'll be back in front of the council making awards to those students that participated in drawing the different pictures to highlight the theme for this year. Coming up, of course, November 2nd, change your clocks. Remember to change the batteries in your smoke detectors. That's a common theme that we use every year. Most homes are now equipped with a 10-year battery in their smoke detector, but if you still have a smoke detector or a carbon monoxide detector that uses a 9-volt battery, make sure you change that in early November. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, but I have a question for you. Okay, since we talk about battery, so we have so many rechargeable battery at home, like a scooter and this and that. Can we just charge forever? And how about the iPhone, iPad, everything? And I think this talk about the battery, will it catch fire, this and that? So maybe give, our public some of suggestion. Because I always put over there forever. I don't want to burn down my house.
Yeah, don't leave the batteries on the chargers forever. Most batteries either have an indicator light on there that'll tell you when it's full. So just leave it on the charger long enough to get a full charge on it and then remove it from the charger. If there's any damage to any of the batteries, you want to take that out of service. Always use the charger that's been provided by the manufacturer. Don't use a charger that's for another item and try to make it work for the battery that you're trying to charge. And then if the battery's at the end of its service life or it is damaged, then properly recycle. That's not in your recycled trash container that's at your curbside. Has to go to a special facility. Home Depot, Lowe's, most of the local hardware stores provide a special drop-off for the lithium-ion batteries to keep them safe. Did I miss anything?
You kind of scare me now. I have so many things plugged into the battery. Okay, I have my iPad, iPhone, and earphone, and the scooters, and all the device for the machine, like gardening machine, device. They all plug into it. Then you say, I have to unplug everything? Huh? Okay. Besides your heart. Don't unplug your heart battery, okay? So, but the rest you have to unplug to be safe. Am I right? So, okay, thank you so much. I think, to the public, to not plug in forever. Okay, that's a bad habit. Am I right? So you should unplug everything beside your hard device, okay? Don't unplug the one, so you can recharge all the time. So here we present the West Covina, the great city, and thank you so much, Fire Department, to give us the information and even the open house, for us to kind of know the program and again, unplug your battery. Okay, that's what the Fire Department suggestion. But thank you so much. This is a proclamation for the fire prevention. And before I let you go, I think beside the batteries, it's inside the house. How about outside? Since we have wildfires at the tree, the vegetation, and maybe you can give us some of the information how we avoid potentially wildfires, especially the hillside area.
Certainly. So many of you know, because we've talked about it at a couple of the town hall meetings, about the recent release of the new maps for wildfire hazard areas by CAL FIRE. Fortunately, in West Covina, the area that had been designated a very high hazard has been reduced, mainly due to the development in our hillsides and more homes going in and less wildland that's available. But even then, you need to protect your home from wildfire. And on the CAL FIRE website, and we have links to that, it identifies different zones and what kind of growth or plants or landscaping that you can use in those zones. Zero zone is 1 to 5 feet out from your house. So it's simple things like not stacking firewood next to your home that could catch any of the embers. You're trying to make that first 5 feet as resistant to any type of flying embers as possible, whether that's hardscape or low bushes or greenery that stays green all year long and doesn't drop a lot of leaves and needles. From there, 5 feet out to 30 feet out, you have a little less restrictions in terms of what you can grow. You can have taller plants, but again, you don't want them all grouped together. You need a little bit of spread out distance. And then from 30 feet out to 100 feet, you can grow taller trees. Again, make sure that you don't have any ladder fuel. So any high grass that might cause a ground fire to get up into the trees, you make those type of limitations from 30 feet to 100 feet out.
Very good. Okay, I think this is what we need to know because we have all the wildfire happened this year in January and it burned down a lot of houses, and it's for sure, like with Covina, we have a lot of hillside area, okay, and we have a Galster Park, okay, and that's kind of overgrown, and plus a lot of city area has kind of overgrown hillside. So I think that's why we all need to kind of clear out or make sure our property is safe and this and that. Okay, so 30 feet, okay, and make sure, okay, and the tree, okay, some of the tree possible need to be trimmed down due to some of like eucalyptus tree that basically they have the grease to catch fire easily. Yes. Am I right?
That's correct. So the leaves and embers can travel a long distance. We saw that with the recent fires back in January, Eaton Canyon. And so you want to make sure that your property is not susceptible to those sparks grabbing anything and burning and then spreading to your house.
Very good. So everybody know we have inside unplug your battery, outside clear your vegetation. Thank you so much, Chief. Okay, we really appreciate. Thank you, and I see you pretty soon in your station. Okay, thank you. And I barely wear pink. Why I wear pink? Okay, because today, this month, proclamation, okay, recognize October as a breast cancer awareness month. Natalia, would you please come out? And you are all pink. Yes, and I know. So maybe, and Chief, yeah, come up. Okay, I know this is important, especially the female to about the awareness about check up this and that. So maybe you want to share with us how we can prevent, and hopefully one day we can cure the breast cancer. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor Wu, council members, city staff, and members of our community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today as we recognize and celebrate a powerful initiative that brings hope, awareness, and unity to our city and beyond. Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the Pink Patch Project. As many of you know, breast cancer touches countless lives. It is a diagnosis that no one wants to hear, but one that far too many individuals and families have faced. It's a journey filled with fear, courage, and resilience, but it's also a journey where the community can make all the difference. That's why I'm proud to speak today about the Pink Patch Project, an inspiring public awareness campaign that began in 2013, launched by the Seal Beach Police Department. We sell patches, coasters, and other merchandise and donate the profits to breast cancer research. Each October, law enforcement agencies across the country, including West Covina Police Department, swap out their traditional uniform patches for our pink ones. These pink patches are more than symbols. They represent solidarity with those who have been diagnosed, support for their families, and a powerful commitment to early detection and life-saving research. They spark conversation, raise awareness, and help fund essential programs for cancer research, treatment, and survivor support. What started as a local idea has grown into a national movement. It's a reminder that even in the midst of serious illness, there is hope. To all the law enforcement agencies participating in this campaign, we thank you. Your efforts go far beyond public safety. You are helping to save lives in other ways by being champions for awareness, education, and compassion. To the survivors, the fighters, and the families who have lost loved ones, we honor you, and we are committed to continuing this fight for you, not just in October, but all year around. Let's all wear our pink, whether it's a patch, a ribbon, or a sign of support, with pride, purpose, and the promise to do more. Together, we're not just raising awareness, we're raising hope. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Chief, you want to say something?
Just briefly, I want to thank you, Natalia, for taking the lead of our Pink Patch Project and for all the hard work you're doing behind the scenes. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much money we can raise for this purpose.
Thank you.
Mayor Wu, I have a question. Sorry. So as you see, Councilwoman and I do support it. And at the fire prevention, they had their gear, which Councilwoman and I did pay and supported this.
Perfect.
But I wanted to know, how can the residents or
Yes,
ourselves get those items
Yes.
or to purchase it online, if you can kindly share
Thank
the
you.
details of it.
So
Thank you.
I will be creating a post that we'll post onto the West Covina Police Department social media as far as what we have. We have bottle openers, we have coasters, we have patches, and potentially some other items that we're going to sell for profit. You could find them also at our front desk, and the records clerks can assist you in purchasing those. It's all cash right now because I don't have a Venmo. Thank you.
Okay, so support them to purchase the T-shirts, okay, the cup and the badge, this and that, and donation. Okay, just write the check. Okay, donation. Okay, you don't need the merchandise. Just give them the check, and to support the awareness of breast cancer. And Chief, you want to add on anything, because this is something every year, so we try to promote about awareness of the breast cancer. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes. So this year we actually are getting very organized with this project, and from here we're just going to grow up with it as far as having more merchandise, making ease of pay and so forth. But again, every single penny that is earned from the sale of these items goes towards the research and cure of breast cancer. And I know there's many of us in this room that have been affected by breast cancer. I have loved ones that are currently battling it. So it has a place in my heart, and we're going to work very hard to promote this.
Thank you so much. So, give them a hand. Never wrong to give a hand. Okay, yes. Okay, encourage people. Try to present a good cause and for the thing. And represent the great city of West Covina. I want to thank you guys. Okay, and we want to have a proclamation about the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and in October 2025, West Covina. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chief. Okay, you can leave it right there. Give to me. Don't turn it off. Okay, then we won't be on again. This is a very sensitive device. Okay, next one, the third one. Okay, that is domestic violence. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. October is also the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to stand with survival, honor the life lost, and support those still living in fear. And I remember every year it came to speak to us. I think rather than I reading this thing, I think I should give the time to you to tell us how the domestic violence affect people, and we need to make sure we can save life. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm West Covina Police Department Victims Advocate. And West Covina has an amazing program where the officers write the reports after they make an arrest or after they call on the victim, and I follow up. It's a slow process with the follow-up because from 0 to 6, you get to know who you are. And if from 0 to 6, you lived in a home that was loving and supportive, you will always have that. However, many of our children are growing up where there's fighting and loud noises and cursing and betrayal and belittling them, and they have no self-esteem. So they go out into the world, and it's usually a woman, and she chooses someone that she thinks she can rehabilitate. If she can rehabilitate him, then she's lovable. If not, she is not. That is the sticking point, and it takes a lot of time for anyone to face that, to realize it, and adjust to it. And West Covina Police Chief has taken the time to let me and the others do that, and we're grateful to West Covina. Thank you.
Chief, go ahead. Chief, say something.
I would also just like to recognize and thank Diane Franklin. She's been our victims advocate since 1999. And we're one of the few smaller municipal police departments that actually has our very own domestic victims advocate. She primarily works with victims of domestic violence or sexual abuse. And, I mean, the amount of work she does is just incredible. She works with these victims with support, with sheltering, with goods they may need, even to taking some of these fearful victims to court and escorting them to their court proceedings. So what she does is just absolutely priceless. I'm so thankful to have her, and we are all blessed as a community to have Diane here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And a lot of people thinking about domestic violence, just a family feud, this and that, but it's not true, because I think just a couple of years ago, Monty, we lost 2 police officers because they basically respond to the domestic violence call. And when they arrive, because they heated, and our police officer sacrificed. So you can see, the domestic violence can come out, escalate into something very, very violent. So if you see something, you have to report something. So I think something important, we will make sure we protect everybody, including our community. If we see something, make sure you let people know, our police department know, so we can get involved in the earlier time without escalating to something like when people are so mad and then the thing happened. Am I right, Chief? Go ahead.
Absolutely. Domestic violence response is one of the most dangerous calls of service for law enforcement because of the volatile situations. And also, I wanted to note that for this month, our personnel are all authorized to also wear the purple ribbon signifying our support for domestic violence awareness. And these ribbons were provided by Diane Franklin again.
Yeah, I think so. Let's give that another hand, especially Diane. But thank you, Diane. For every year you came to tell us, and the gospel about domestic violence, how horrible is that, and the people should know, that is not a small crime. That possible can be a very serious, severe situation that we have to face. But the victim, we need to help them, and the city will help them to protect them. Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
You want to say more things?
Well, I want to say more.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep some time.
Oh, okay. Well, as the chief said, we have an intense program. And with all of us, we want to be loved. And some people pay a very high price for that. And we always talk about the absence of it rather than what love really is. And this is a very trying time for many of our victims because they are afraid of being deported. So seems like there's less reporting, and some that do report are afraid to come in. So these are really challenging times.
So if you know somebody need help, the city willing to help them. Am I right, Chief? And we will find a shelter. We will protect them, make sure, and the female, they will be protected. The victim, we want to make sure, and all the human life will be safe. But thank you so much. I will present a great city of West Covina. We want to thank, Ms. Franklin for all your, dedication, and every year come over here to make sure people understand how important to awareness about domestic violence. Thank you so much.
Is there a hotline phone number? Mayor?
Yes.
Is there a hotline phone number?
Yeah, do you have a hotline, Chief?
There's no hotline just for domestic violence, but if you can call our dispatch if it's emergency 911. If you just have questions about how things work, or if you needed to contact our Diane Franklin for non-emergency situations, you can call our non-emergency line through our communication center. But anything that is heated argument or potential violence or violence, immediately please dial 911, and we'll be there for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate. Okay, now we move to the manager. Okay, manager report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On Friday, September 26th, the Cortez Community and Senior Center welcomed over 160 guests and 14 seniors turning 90 years old or above this year. Our birthday guests shared words of wisdom that include powerful messages such as, don't dwell on the past and be happy. All guests enjoyed a delicious meal prepared by our senior chefs, Holly and Teresa, and danced to the voice of DJ Rudy. The 2025 Moon Festival was held on Saturday, October 4th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. The event included a car show presented by New Beginning Christian Fellowship and Envision Motors, Game Zone with interactive activities for kids and teens, Health Zone organized by West Covina Health, live entertainment throughout the day showcasing local talent and cultural performances, a cosplay contest where guests showcased their creativity and competed for prizes. The West Covina Fire Department held its annual open house on Saturday, October 4th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event featured the hands-on opportunities to learn about the apparatus, tools, equipment, and interact with fire department personnel, learn about fire safety, and enjoy a delicious barbecue. The Canine Condition Foundation, Love Leo Rescue. I thought the dog actually barked.
Perfect timing.
And Vet Care is holding a spay and neuter clinic at the Shadowwell Park Community Center on Sunday, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The fee is $40 and pre-registration is required. Text 747-313-2971 for an application. Okay, and we just received word that they are now full due to the overwhelming response from our community for this type of event. Coyote information. With growing concerns regarding coyote-related incidents and counter, the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, the COG, has shared this video regarding hazing to stay safe in the event of a coyote encounter. Additional information will be provided by the COG and will be available on our city website starting tomorrow. And I believe we have a video to show.
Hazing is a way to stay safe in the event of a coyote encounter. Here are 5 tips to haze a coyote. Tip 1, stay calm. Never turn your back on a coyote. Tip 2, stand tall and maintain eye contact. Avoid running to prevent triggering a chase response. Tip 3, be loud and exaggerate. Don't be afraid to wave your arms around and yell, "Go away, coyote!" Tip 4, continue to be loud until the coyote fully backs down and runs away. Tip 5. In some cases, coyotes won't fear these hazing methods. In the event that happens, keep your eyes on the coyote and back away slowly. Now you know how to be coyote safe. See you later.
It's pretty funny.
That's great.
That coyote is huge.
Next slide. Management positions. I'm in the process and continuing to fill the executive management and management positions in the city. This month we'll be filling our public works director position, who is also a licensed city engineer. He comes to us with 25 years of experience with a master's degree from Rutgers. We bring on our Deputy Director of Community Development, who is also a certified planner with over 20 years of experience, master's degree from Cal State Fullerton. Economic and Development Housing Manager, who is also a state licensed with the Department of Real Estate, will be coming to us with over 35 years of experience with a master's degree from USC. Upcoming reports to the council in October and November. We'll be bringing back the tree service RFP for consideration, proposed agreement with Clear Channel, which was a council request for the advertising agreement, bringing back the Veterans Advisory Committee, an update on that with a report, update on spay and neuter, potential ordinance changes in the city. The code of conduct, standing rules will come back in November, and we'll also be bringing back state mandated AB 1383 this month or the first meeting in November. Updates to the council in November will include a detailed update on our street sweeping program, update on landscape and medians, update on coyotes by the state of California Fish and Wildlife, and also an update on our Sportsplex operations. Development projects updates coming in November. We'll be updating you on the Texas Roadhouse, Fogo de Chao, Porto's expansion, proposed sale of the city yard, and the Azusa corridor signalization and synchronization program. Some of the upcoming events will be Oktoberfest, October 10th, 2025 at the Cortez Community and Senior Center, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Movie night, The Addams Family, October 10th, Cameron Park from 7 to 10 p.m. Akamatsuri Fall Festival, October 11th, East San Gabriel Valley Japanese Community Center from 12 to 6 p.m. Spay and Neuter Clinic, October 12th, Shadow Oak Park, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Department of Rehabilitation Job Fair, October 16th, at the West Covina Civic Center, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Festival of Frights, Cartoberfest, October 25th, at the historic downtown West Covina from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Mr. Mayor, that concludes my city manager's report tonight. But before we go to the calendar tonight, I'm going to be pulling item from the consent calendar, item number 1, to allow staff time to correct and update staff's recommendation on this matter, allow the council more time to review the applications. And on the second item, in consent, we are going to request and recommend option number 1 be considered by the council to allow more time for collection of data regarding our West Covina microtransit program.
Thank you, Acting City Manager. I think it's a great report. We have a lot of things going on. Okay, it looks very positive for our city moving. Okay, and I think a lot of event. Okay, and it's full for our October and November. Okay, I think this is. Can you believe it's almost come to the end of the year? Okay, Letty, ready to take over the mayorship. Okay, so anyway, I think this is a great thing that we can see a lot of business coming to the city, a lot of great restaurant. Okay, Fogo de Chao, the Texas Roadhouse. Okay, I think Wallace Chicken is already doing the remodeling on the KFC location. Okay, and seafood. Okay, at the lake, I think going on too. So it looks like the city has a lot of great things going on, and I want to thank all the staff to put it together. Now we move into oral communication. Oh, before I started, I promised Assistant City Manager, I'm going to give her the credit. Okay, last time on the State of the City, we have a great event. And people say, Tony, you have a great speech. And I want to say, the great man behind it always have a great lady. I want to thank the Assistant City Manager at the September 1st, right? Okay, yes, okay, on our Labor Day and Monday, and she showed up on her holiday and work with me with all the speech back and forth to revise, make sure we have a great speech and great event. So I want to thank her, okay, for her dedication on the September 1st, and on her holiday she showed up, okay, and with me, and we even reviewed the video, okay, and I want to thank you. I keep my promise. I say I will thank you. I forgot to thank you last time, so I'm going to thank you this time. And of course, okay, Acting City Manager is over there too, but he already have a sleeping bag in our city, so I don't have to mention you. You're over here all the time. But thank you, the staff, to put it together. We continue to move our city. Okay, now we move to oral communication. Now we move to oral communication. Okay, comment are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Okay, unless modified by the presiding officer of a city council, request to speak on agenda item will be heard prior to the request to speak on the non-agenda item. Member of the public may not engage in behavior that is disrupted the orderly conduct of the meeting, including but not limited to speak of the topic, speaking beyond the speaker's allowed time limit, and making the slanderous of a profanity, okay, remark, or using loud, threatening, abusive language which disrupt, disturb, impede, and render invisible the orderly conduct of the meeting. Member of the public may not threaten to any person with a physical harm or act in a manner that may reasonably, okay, be interpreted as an imminent threat of the physical harm. When you hear your name being called, please, okay, sit in front of the row designed, designated for public speaker. Okay, the time will start when your name is called. Okay, and Assistant City Manager, how many speakers we have?
We have a total of 10 speaker slips tonight.
Would you have the first speaker, please?
Yes, the first speaker will be Jerry Poitras, followed by Christie, followed by FBI.
The time?
Good evening. Tonight I'm commenting on item 9, the conceptual design for Fire Station 1. Today, we once again observe our City Council making major financial commitments without a cost benefit or financial analysis. The State Auditor reports state that decisions made without a cost benefit or financial analysis are, and I'm quoting, high risk for potential waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement. So I simply ask, how much is it going to cost to build a fire station at the Civic Center? How much is it going to cost to build a city yard at BKK area if it's even legally and environmentally approved to be built there? How much would it cost to rebuild Fire Station 1 and upgrade the city yard at their present location? If Fire Station 1 is moved to the Civic Center area, what is the impact on response times to residents when an emergency arises? How do you plan to pay for these projects? Borrow money again? Arrange private or corporate funding? Raise taxes? The state auditor's report also notes numerous instances where our city council used incomplete data to make significant budgetary and/or long-term organizational commitments. Insufficient analysis of long-term costs results in overspending. It's reckless. You have the cart before the horse. Table this project until an appropriate and sufficient cost-benefit financial analysis that looks at all alternates is performed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Christy, followed by FBI.
Christy? Okay, next speaker.
FBI.
FBI? Is Christy there? No? Okay, next speaker.
Okay. We have Herman. Ernesto, followed by Doug Four.
I'll start the clock before I even get up here. Amazing. See, ladies and gentlemen, I just start and already my time is being stolen from me. The same censure that I've heard about what's happening in Downey.
Your time's not moving.
Well, it doesn't have to move. I'm speaking.
Sorry, go ahead.
And the issue here is about the censure between the city of Downey against one faggot. No offense. I'm not creating any static. It's just this one particular individual who's an attorney representing the city of Downey has been censured for saying some offensive things about Charlie Kirk. And I think the public should agree with me that Charlie Kirk was an open-minded First Amendment constitutional protected speech speaker. He took to no side, except we're finding out now that, like in particular, since the city manager likes for me to incorporate the city of Los Angeles, they like putting up new rules now where they're taking your First Amendment right away to use any type of N or C word. Today, I mentioned the word Nickerson Garden. Are any of you familiar with Nickerson Garden? Have you heard of Florence Griffith Joyner? Well, these are LAUSD schools in that area. Nickerson Gardens, a rough ghetto hardship land where not many of you would raise your children other than in West Covina, and if not better, in the burned cities of Palisades and right up the street here. Why is that? Why do I say that? Because today I found out that only 2 homes in Palisades were built by permit. 2 homes. And what did Donald J. Trump say? Cut the red tape, give these people the permission to build on their properties. Well, it's not happening. It's not happening. So it shows me the criminal enterprise of local government is to take away your rights. They're taking away our rights by the First Amendment. You can't say this, you can't say that. Didn't Tony Wu just give you guys what? He called what? Impermissible prior restraint. Says you cannot, should not, will not say this. Well, guess what? I believe the mayor and former mayor is wrong. So I'm going to exercise just one portion of my First Amendment right now. And that's it right here in my hand, the First Amendment, without any words. It's universal. It can mean lots of things. NWA, MWA, or it could just mean 42 USC 1983. But I'm speaking specifically about United States versus Bagdasarian. There's nothing offensive against it, Tony. And the reason behind that is because in his verbiage, he did say, shoot the nig.
Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Ernesto Garcia, followed by Doug Ford.
Mr. Garcia? Different name, though. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, Council. I'll be your fastest speaker. Just came up to say a quick thank you to whoever among you decided to correct the error in the version of the agenda that had been published before the correction was made a few days ago. That original version included Bill Elliott as the person who was going to give tonight's prayer somehow. Again, whoever that was that made that change, thank you. Because had he been up here in that capacity tonight, myself and many others would have had a completely different tone and much more to add. Because this is the same person who not too long ago was loudly blustering up here about a man who had come to talk about DACA recipients. Elliot was apparently upset that the man was quoting from the Bible, and Elliot, just a sentence later, decided to call all of these young people cockroaches. A man who unabashedly wants West Covina to be more white and is threatened by the thought of having to compete against hardworking Latinos. I can see you all now agree is not an appropriate person to be delivering any kind of spiritual message to us. So whether it was our group and its friends calling the council out for having Elliot momentarily be the person who was going to give this evening's religious message, or because somebody somewhere just decided to have some good common sense, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Doug Ford.
Hi, guys. Thank you, guys. I was excited to see the MOU for Cartoberfest. I've been asking for a long time for transparency up here, and I was really excited to see that on the agenda and an amount not to exceed. Thank you for bringing that to downtown West Covina. We need help down there, and the businesses are excited. Also, great job, Mylan. I loved your report today. I love what you're doing. You're doing a great job at this. So much better than our last city manager. You actually communicate, even if we don't agree. We have a conversation, and I'm just not ignored along with many other people. And you're doing a great job, and thank you for doing what's right for the citizens of West Covina. Now, I'm here to talk about 5 notice of violations that I got at my restaurant, Bun Street. First violation was code 9-28, illegally discharging into storm water system. I don't know what this was for. I don't know anything about it. Also, all of these violations came on September 25th. I don't have any gutters at the back of Bun Street. I have no clue what they're talking about. Second one, overgrown or dead vegetation. The correction said I need to water my plants, trim, mow the front of my property. The city owns the front of the property, and it's all asphalt and cement. So I'm a little bit confused of why I got that violation. Next violation, no person shall dump or allow junk such as tin cans, wire, old auto parts, or debris material on public or private property. I am a restaurant. I did not know the pictures attached had 2 boxes by my back door. An order was coming in. I would not keep boxes of product back there because that ghetto alley, the things would be stolen in about 20 minutes if I did. So I'm curious about that. The next violation was graffiti. No picture of the graffiti on the violation. So I'm just wondering, I saw no graffiti back there, but I took 32 pictures down that alley of graffiti, but none on the back of my building. Next violation was they said an unpleasant odor was coming from my property. If you don't like great hamburgers, I guess that is unpleasant. This is exactly why we don't need a health department in this city, you guys. Can you imagine if the city had its own health department? They already pick and choose what they want to attack. I'm waiting. I've done a public records request to find out who else got violations for that day. I'm waiting for that. I have always gotten A ratings at my restaurants. I'm very proud of that. I have a lot more to say, but we're limited to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, please. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Bill Elliott, followed by Josh Murray, followed by Hollywood.
Please bow your heads as we approach the throne of grace. Our gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we lift up West Covina tonight in prayer and thank you for your blessings, big and small, seen and unseen. We pray for the city council. May they work for the good of West Covina. Inspire them to lead with fairness, integrity, and mutual respect. Let them set aside their egos and infighting. Bring peace and harmony to this governing body like never before. We pray for our worthy city manager, Marlon Macrick. Dedicate him to what he has been entrusted with. We pray that you lead the perfect applicant for the position of fire chief directly to his door. We ask that you remove the word acting from his title and give him a long tenure. We give thanks for your servant and our city attorney, Tom Duarte. We covet his wise counsel to guide the way for West Covina. We are ever thankful for our police chief, Tony Cortina. Give him an extra measure of compassion, perspective, and mercy. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Always protect our brave police officers with the full armor of God. We ask for rich blessings upon our fire department and paramedics. Protect them wherever flames rage, and may they hear the smallest cry. Blessed are those who are low in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. We pray for those who are suffering from a bad diagnosis or mental illness and are feeling depressed, frightened, hopeless, and alone. Lord, you are the great physician, and we ask for your healing hand of mercy upon them. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. We pray for those who are mourning the loss of loved ones. Comfort and console and heal the afflicted. Be very near and dear to them in this and every hour, and we shall give you the praise. We mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk and pray for his widow and her 2 little daughters and the unborn child that she's still carrying. Pour down your grace upon them and give them peace that passes understanding. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Even before you formed us inside the womb, you knew us, even down to the number of hairs on our head. We mourn the loss of millions of innocent unborn children who are still being brutally murdered in the name of health care. We pray for a total end to the horrific practice of abortion. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. We ask for divine presence in the lives of little children and young people in West Covina. Parents, raise up your children in the way of the Lord, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. We ask for these things in Jesus' precious and holy and wonderful name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Josh Murray.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the Council. My name is Josh Murray. I am here on behalf of West Covina Library. Tomorrow, October 8th, from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., children ages 5 to 12 and their parent or caregiver are invited to discover the unique and colorful Mola folk art of Panama. Then they will create their very own Mola design with vibrant construction paper and other art supplies. I'd like to let the community know that the Friends of the West Covina Library will hold their big book sale on Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Now is your chance to get some gently used books at amazing prices while supporting literacy, lifelong learning, and enhanced library programming. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Hollywood.
Hollywood? Nope. Okay, next speaker, please.
Your last speaker, the card just reads support transparency.
One of the first persons to submit the card and not the last. Thank you very much, City Council. I just witnessed the civil war from the previous City Council meeting. I want to talk about that. First of all, I want to thank our council member Gutierrez for providing so many documentations, because those are a lot of those documentations that people are fighting to submit a public record request, and then the city council are denying. Well, they will never release a text message evidence. They will never release an email exchange. Those are something that the city council will never do, but somehow in this case that he did it, provided to the public. I think that is a pretty good one. Second of all is that it's hard to judge who is right, and it's hard to judge who is wrong, because nobody knows the totality of the circumstances. But they are something that I think the city council needs to understand. And number one, you remember that President Trump was actually what did he do? He was censured twice. I forgot that specific word, but he was something twice by the Congress. But however, it does not remove him from the office. It does not remove any of his presidential power, and it does not eliminate the opportunity for him to get re-elected. So for this censure, I just want to make sure everybody understands it doesn't do anything other than making a public statement. I hate you, Gutierrez. Other than that, I think it doesn't do much. Second is that having a political civil war inside of in the city council, the only victim is the residents, because the city council member can fight all day long. They can go to each other's home all day long, but again, the people who is suffering is the people they represent. I really wish our council member spend more time supporting your residents, supporting your citizens, instead of playing this some sort of monkey business, childish 3 years old fight. Next but not least is that I heard Councilmember Gutierrez said he was a person with autism. I am also the one with I was also diagnosed with the autistic disorder. I was fired from a warehouse supervisor position during the pandemic because I yelled to my coworker, is a female. I said, "Hey, how is that possible that you put all of the heavy box for me and you are doing all the light duty work?" And somehow my female coworker said, "I'm a violence in the workplace," for pointing that out. So I want to thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next speaker, please.
I have no more speaker slips.
Okay, very good. And acting city manager, do you want to respond some of the speaker?
Of course, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Botchers, thank you for your concerns and questions regarding Fire Station 1. That is an agenda item tonight, so I'll let the experts speak on that and council make their decision. I'm not going to weigh in on that right now. Herman, thank you for mentioning and speaking about First Amendment rights. I do follow other city council meetings that you attend, and you can agree that at least at this council meeting, you've always been provided the right to speak and exercise your First Amendment. So thank you for coming out. Ernesto, thank you for your comments as well. And again, nothing specific to this agenda, but for previous agendas and future agendas, if there is a mistake on the agenda, I will work to make that correction. I'll take responsibility for that. Doug Four, interesting letters. Hey, must admit, I'm thinking about it myself. But let's do this. Why don't you, I don't know if you've spoken to Matt Ariza yet, our public safety manager. I'll let him get into the weeds of these letters and work that out. But I think the one thing we can agree with is that alley does need work. And there are some things, now that I'm sitting up here, we can do a lot better. So if you're ready to re-engage again and open those discussions, I've got some ideas of how the city can work with the business community along the Glendora corridor and make downtown Glendora more vibrant, or downtown Glendora and the West Covina area more vibrant, and also some ideas with that alleyway, which is does accumulate trash. It is dirty. There's graffiti there every day. We can do better, but I'd like to set up with you and some of the business community to bounce around some ideas. Bill Elliott, thank you for the prayer, and also thank you, both Bill and Doug, for your kind words about me. Josh, thank you for the updates on the library as always, and also Support Transparency. I don't know your real name, but I'll go by Support Transparency. Thank you for your comments, your concerns. And I will mention on the Public Records Request Act, anything submitted to the city as far as public records, we will and we do produce everything that we have access to. So for you in the community to understand that if you do request, we will provide. We do not hold back any documents. It's a very busy shop. We only have 2 people in our city clerk's office, so sometimes it does take a little longer to get documents. Sometimes they're very voluminous, and sometimes they're 10, 15,000 pages as a responsive document. So it does take us a little time, but everything is provided. And I believe that concludes my comments for today, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and then we move to the consent calendars 1 to 7. Any council want to pull any of item?
I'll pull number 3.
Number 3. Okay, number 3. And any other council? If not, okay, beside number 3, 1 to 7, do I have a motion to approve? Do I have a motion?
I'll move the motion.
Do I have a second?
2 through 7, correction, 2 through 7.
He removed.
Oh, how many?
He pulled one, so it's from 2 to 7 with the exception. I'm pulling number 3.
You pull number 3, right?
Yes. And then for number 2, you have to pick A, B, or C. No?
No.
It's all,
No, he already talked about go to June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need more data.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you only number 3.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So we can listen to in June to more detail about the data.
Yes.
So the number 1 already pulled because it's incorrect. Okay, so number 2, okay, he already mentioned, and so number 3 will pull by you. Then basically will be 4, 5, 6, 7.
I move the motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. Okay, and roll call, please.
Okay, first by Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado, second by Councilwoman Diaz. Roll call vote. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
Aye.
Mayor Wu.
Aye, and the motion approved 5-0. Number 3, Council Member Gutierrez. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I just have a question for the contractor.
Good evening, Ani
You
Samuelian.
can lower the mic, please. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, Ani Samuelian with Nationwide Environmental Services. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, I just have one question. It's just a yes or no, and that's all my questions I have. But I just wanted to confirm for the record, is it true that when you started weekly street sweeping, that the city manager is not the one who gave you direction, but rather one member of this council did? Is that correct?
It was a process, but I did have direction, and then I got another direction. But yes,
So is that yes or no?
there was multiple layers, but yes,
Okay, so that's correct then. Yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move adoption.
Okay, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and roll call, please.
I have a first from Councilman Contos and a second from Councilmember Gutierrez. Roll call vote. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
Aye.
Mayor Wu.
Aye, 5-0 approved. Okay, and then we go to the number 8. Okay, and the city acting city manager who is going to report this or present this.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, our CIP project manager, Robert Ortega, will be presenting tonight.
Welcome back, Robert. Congratulations. Were you a newborn baby?
Oh, wow.
Barely getting some sleep in.
Congratulations.
30 years ago, I changed the diaper. It's like yesterday. Yeah, go ahead.
Today.
Yeah.
We're getting the
PowerPoint. Number 8. Do we have a presentation?
Council chambers layout.
Yes.
Get started. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. Today I'll be discussing the ADA upgrades to the chamber. So a little background on this project. In 2019, the city's risk management evaluation under the California JPIA Loss Cap program recommended the preparation of an ADA, which is the American with Disability Act, self-evaluation and transition plan. On September 19th, 2023, the City Council approved an agreement with Bureau Veritas Technical Assessments for the preparation of an ADA self-evaluation and transition plan. March 18, 2025, the City Council approved an agreement with Brian F. Knight, architect for the City Council ADA improvements. The scope of the design services include improvements to the facilities within City Hall to bring them up to current ADA standards. So with that said, attachment 1 is what we have here. So attachment 1 is the current layout of the chambers, which is not up to ADA standards. The chamber currently has 128 seats with 1 ADA space. The aisles, stairs, chairs, ADA lift, and the restroom in the break room are not up to ADA standards. To correct these issues, we have been working with architect Brian, who is here to answer any technical questions, to create options for you all to choose from. So attachment 2, which is option 1, proposes 2 aisles extending directly down from the stairs on either side of the staff seating area, along with an ADA compliant ramp on the east side of the chamber. This layout will provide 127 seats, which is 1 under what we currently have, or 1 less, and 2 wheelchair accessible spaces. Although the end seats in 2 sections would only be accessible from 1 aisle. Additionally, we reconfigured the break room. Essentially, the break room has the same layout. However, we are proposing to demo some walls to make the restroom ADA compliant. So attachment 3, option 2. This option maintains the current 3-aisle configuration with the addition of an ADA compliant ramp on the east side of the chamber. This layout will provide 118 seats with 2 wheelchair accessible spaces while allowing guests to access rows from either side. This option also shows the same reconfiguration in the break room and restroom as mentioned in option 1. Staff recommends that the City Council approve option 1, which provides a net increase in seating capacity and additional ADA accessibility while meeting compliant requirements. That's it for me.
City Council has any question? Yeah. Okay. Brian, go ahead.
Yes. What option are you recommending, or you're asking us to pick from 1 or 2?
Yeah, so I'm providing 2 options. Option 1 and option 2, we are recommending option 1.
Great. Option 1, yeah, that's not going to work. So I know you were not here when this I think it was like $500-something thousand study for ADA occurred. So I used to serve on a commissions with people for disability access and so forth, and the attachment 1, it's missing the location up there, which is a ADA location, and it doesn't have it on here. And then the second issue, the concern I have with option 1 is that, and I'll read you it says, under the ADA 2010 standards, accessible city must be integrated and not in a single isolated section. It has to be dispersed when the room offers distinct viewing areas and provide comparable lines of sight and choice of location to those available to the public. Mm-hmm. All accessible seats that are clustered in 1 row about min-depth of the chamber. They're currently, and there is no front row or rear view options for wheelchair users. So although the plan is partially compliant, it does not provide dispersion. Users have only 1 general location choice. So I think your most compliant ADA 1 is, for example, in option in option 1, you have an ADA accessible seating out in the community room. But what happens if there's an overflow? Are we saying we're not going to allow a wheelchair person to sit there? So I think the community room, regardless, has to have a designated area for a wheelchair to make sure that every distinct area that a person who is disabled has fair viewing access as a person who's not disabled. So I think if we're going to be compliant, that I think there has to be one out in the community room, one up there, at least one or two up there, and then one in the front here and one in the back rear.
I agree. That's something that we can implement into the plans.
Yeah. And I know you're not responsible because you're not obviously you didn't do the study, and I know BFK probably relied on that third-party study to do their design because I remember that, and so I guess all I ask is that we make sure that it's complying with ADA.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do we have an engineer to explain? You guys want to kind of elaborate what the council member concerned about?
We do have the architect here.
Yeah.
Who also did, I believe, a study on ADA, Brian, who can answer or elaborate on that. Sure. Answer.
Can we go to the option, the new options? This is the existing option or the existing condition. So in option 1, we have distributed the ADA seating in the overflow area, the upper row of the main seating area, and then one ADA in the front row. Can you go to option 2 now? Option 2 does not have, is that option 2? Yes. Okay. This one, we're still showing the seating in what is now, I understand, the employee area up there.
Yeah.
So we will adjust this option to show a similar ADA distribution or wheelchair distribution as in option 1.
But that is an ADA area up there. It has been for years. And so sometimes people with disabilities not necessarily are disabled. Sometimes under the ADA, you can have people with autism. You can have people with different disabilities that fall under the ADA. And sometimes it could be that sometimes those disabilities prevent them from being in crowded areas or different disabilities. So that's why it's vital and important that the breakup is distributed equally in fair advantage for people with all types of disabilities that fall under.
We can absolutely show,
yeah,
as we're doing here in this version, wheelchair area.
Yeah, like option two, I think if you were to move one of so in option 2, you're a little more compliant. You see, on the lower level seating, you have 2 integrated in the same, technically in the same viewing area. And if one of those was to move forward to the front row here, then you're more compliant. And then also for the community room out there, I think regardless, you have to have, if there was ever an overflow, and I think once in a while there's been, I remember when I was a kid, there was an overflow, a bunch of people who
when we have drama, yes.
Yeah, back in the day. And the community room was filled. And so I think regardless of the situation, you always have to have a special designated area for a person with ADA. So I think it's missing the community room on option 2.
Okay, Mr. Gutierrez, this distribution of ADA seats in the main area, is this something that you're looking for in the main area?
Technically, was there a reason why? Is there a reason why the lower level in option 1 was, I guess, where's this one left? I guess it's going to be redone. The city's going to be redone. But is there a reason why the lower level was far? The problem was far on the right. So I think to be a fair view advantage to a general public, it will have to be one in the middle area, kind of, I mean, lower level kind of thing.
We're trying to maintain clearance, walking clearance.
Yes.
And there's a dashed line in front of that lower wheelchair that shows the minimum required clear space.
Okay, so there's no room for the lower level, the first row,
No, not in
the middle. No, okay. I mean, I think if anything, I think in option one, it's just missing. Again, I think there should be at least one or two designated for that area over there.
Up here,
Yes, and there is. If you look up there, I mean, if you go later on, you'll see that there's ADA signs there already. It's
My understanding was that was for employees only. So
Yeah, no, it's not your fault. No, yeah. It's been for years like that. And sometimes people with disabilities have different unique circumstances, and sometimes they need to be in areas where they're not with a bunch of people, and so being accommodating is very important.
Okay, so basically, I think I can understand. Okay, Council Member Gutierrez, you prefer option number one,
Yeah.
Because community room, we need to be multi-use. We can just make another seat and doing nothing.
Yes,
because you can see we don't need that many.
Yeah, I think it's portable, right?
Yeah,
it's portable.
It's portable. The option two. So, but I think what he say is maybe on the employee area we can have ADA. Okay, so people can come in; they don't have to come down.
Certainly.
Because I don't think we don't even have a slope can coming down with a wheelchair. So we have to use the elevator coming down and move people. So maybe easier for them just on the top, not only for the employee, but plus ADA. Am I right?
Yes. So I think I think option one, I think really is just missing. Yeah,
we just put one over there.
Yeah.
Okay, then we solve the problem. So we option one. Okay, add ADA, so employee and ADA can combine together.
Yes.
If somebody want to stay there, they don't want to come down, they can be there. So we have a wheelchair access. Okay, over there. Any other council have any suggestions? Yeah,
Mr.
go ahead.
Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Oli.
The councilman from District 1 is correct. I have supplementary questions with regard to the incline. With regard to it's supposed to be one elevation higher for every foot forward. So it has I just don't know. So if you could just tell me with regard to the incline for wheelchair access to make sure it isn't too steep. Can you describe that a little bit more, please?
It's 8.3% grade. So that's why the ramp is on the east side. But if you look at your paper, you can see how long the ramp is.
Oh, so it's long. I'm not able to, so that's why your verbal is helping. That's okay. So, but it does match the incline. And as far as landings go, does it have a good turning radius for wheelchair where it's supposed to be? I think it's 60 inches in all directions.
Yes, that's on both the upper landing and the lower landing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, any other council member? You guys okay? Okay. So I just have a question. Okay, so since we will approve, do we have a budget to do this renovation? And the first thing is, do we have a budget to do it? How much it costs us? Second thing is, how long it take? Because if we do the council meeting, if we do the renovation, where we do council meeting? Okay, we go to over there, the community room, or where to do it, and so we have to see how we arranged, okay, and how soon we can do in this, how much, how soon, when we get completed, okay, and then I agree. I think our council chamber needs some remodeling, but where's the money? And the second thing, all this carpet, this and that, and then need to be really updated. Okay, right now it's really look very sad. So do you have an answer for that?
So for budget?
Yes. We have a grant for this? For ADA? No? So this coming from our general fund?
I thought it came from the Affordable Care Act.
That's what I'm thinking. Do we have I think we should have you're not going to using our general fund, right? I think this, acting city manager, do you have an answer for that? Where's the funding coming from? Or our finance director, okay, maybe can give us some light?
We'll answer this in two parts, Mr. Mayor. First of all, the approval tonight would not be approving the fiscal impact. This would be just for the design, the outlay of this the layouts.
I understand, but
And
you
so
lay out.
Aaron's going to come down and
Right.
talk to us about the identified funding source for this project. And I'm also aware of the logistics. If we are to do the council chamber under construction, we would have to relocate to another place to hold our meetings.
Yeah. Okay. And Karen, go ahead. You want to share light with us? Yeah. About, okay, if we approve this and how much will cost us, how long will it take, and when we are going to alternate to place to do council meeting.
I can answer the funding source, if I may.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
There is actually 2 projects already listed on the...
Mike, please.
Sorry. There are originally 2 projects listed under the CIP project being funded out of 160. Fund 160 is actually our capital projects. The funding source from that comes from the general fund. The surpluses, monies go into this particular CIP fund. So, with that being said, in Fund 160, we have 2 projects designated as City Hall ADA improvements of $245,000 approximately. And we also have for the City Council Chamber and ADA improvements of $150,000. So those 2 projects have already been allocated to these CIP projects.
So basically, we already, locate the funding reserve for $400,000 for both, and remodeling.
That's correct.
Okay. So, so if we approve, when this thing will happen?
So the project the construction in here should take approximately 3 months. We have proposed
3 months.
3 months.
It's a 6th meeting.
Yeah, we propose to have council meetings at the senior center and work with IT to see what we need to.
Let's do this next year with Letty Lopez with the mayor.
Yeah, but we can see what we can do to expedite that process as well.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just so folks know for the record that it is our obligation, however way we get the money, because when anyone looks at accessibility, they look at the entire budget of our city. So since we have a budget in the hundreds of millions of dollars, if we don't get it done, however way we get it done, then that subjects us to litigation.
I agree. Okay, but we just have to identify how much we're going to spend. Okay, so people can know we already identified the fund, and then we want to know when we're going to implement and when we're going to finish. So we don't want to say 3 months, end up to 3 years, like a performing arts center, right? Okay, like the train, like forever. So we want to make sure we understand. Okay, now we know we have a funding source. Second thing is, we approve when we get started, but we got to change all the carpet, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, because that carpet is really bad. I get smelly too. Okay, so hopefully, we change it to. Do you have a design for our flooring? Do you know what floor?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Once we get the conceptual approved, then we can get into the nitty-gritty of the aesthetics.
Okay.
And bring that back if needed.
So we got a funding source, and we know it's 3 months, and then now just approve, and then find out who will be our contractor, and we'll approve, etc., and then 3 months, hopefully we can come back to the comply ADA plus new and improve council chamber.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have? Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve option 1. But with additionally adding
employee area
as a ADA designated area as well.
Very good. Do I second? Okay. No, roll call, please.
Okay, we have first from Councilmember Gutierrez and a second from Councilman Contos. Roll call vote. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
Aye.
Mayor Wu.
Aye, and approve 5-0. Now we're moving to number 9, consideration of approval of conceptual design of the fire station number 1. Who is going to present this? Robert, you, okay, and architect. Okay, welcome back again.
So I won't be presenting, but I'll be introducing Bruce from PBK that will be presenting this.
Yeah, I think we approve you for $900,000 to do this design. Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Bruce with PBK, evening city council member and community of West Covina. I'm happy here tonight to present our latest schematic design of the West Covina Fire Station 1. On your screen, you can see the location of the proposed site is adjacent to the city library, right by the 10th freeway, at a corner situated between West Covina Parkway and Garvey. Next. In today's agenda, we'll be looking over first talking about the site plan, then we're zooming in into the floor plan, and then we'll talk briefly just about some of the design visions, some of the buzzwords that we discussed at various meetings, and then finally we'll end with proposed renderings. Next. On your screen here, you can see this is the proposed site plan. The fire station is located close to the northwest corner, and it's totally visible from the field. Currently, right now, it's hidden behind some 60 feet tall trees around that corner. All of that will be removed, and then the fire station will be highly visible and should be a part of the community for years to come. The layout also increased additional parking, overflow parking that's also connected to the current City Hall Parkway, so that there's a continuity should the overflow parking event needed. The fire station also includes 4 apparatus bay double deep with the living quarter on the north side, and the south side will be scheduled for future expansion of the future community EOC and admin offices. Next, floor plan wise, apologize, there was a little markup that staff that had on that thing. Anyways, on the floor plan, you can see, like previous mentioned, there is a Ford apparatus bay double deep. On the left, or the north side, you have all the kind of the firefighter living quarters, and on the right, like I mentioned earlier, previously, it will be a future expansion for the admin offices and the EOC. Next.
You can get closer to the mic, or maybe give in this microphone, the portable one, so you don't have to go attached to the. That one's working. You want to use in the portable mic?
I think I'm fine with this.
You're fine with that? Okay, go continue, please.
All right, sorry. This is the second floor. You can see all the living quarters. There's 10 total. They're all adjacent, one and another, and there's unisex restrooms across on the hallway. And then in the middle will be a double-story volume for the apparatus bay, and to the right will be the future EOC expansion. Next. So some of the design visions, some of the words from various meetings that we've heard, should this fire station act as a beacon, be visible, symmetry, community, pride, presence, gateway, some of the stuff that resonates early on, and how do we take these kind of ideas and the adjacency program floor plan that we discussed earlier, which I forgot to mention was through various meetings has been reviewed and approved by Chief Brown and their team. It wasn't arbitrary laid out. All of them that was presented today is what they needed in order for them to perform and do their job as a serviceman. So taking all the ideas together, having all that program adjacency being approved by Chief Brown. Next is honing into kind of what this facility might look like for your community, for the city of West Covina. Here's an aerial view looking down at the corner. You can see kind of the middle area is kind of where the city hall is. To the bottom is the library, and in the corner was more colorful is the location of the fire station. Next. As you drive on the Freeway 110 freeway heading eastbound, when you see the exit signs over there, you can, once the project is done, you will see that as you drive eastbound, coming home, and then it will be highly visible and be a presence for West Covina. Next. Here's a view looking at West Covina Park, looking north. This is the library in the front, and how we're trying to tie in the next civic building to the existing building with the same urban fabric, so that it looks total incorporated as a whole. Next. Here's a view across the street, looking front of the fire station. It has more of a traditional feel for apparatus bay, and with masonry veneer to kind of mimic the same style and fabric to the adjacent building. Next. And finally, this is a corner view. As a pedestrian will be walking towards south, looking at the fire station. This corner to be designated in the future, perhaps a memorial, perhaps a art cultural piece, that will be a separate effort. But right now, just as a vision, what it could be in that corner. And with that, that concludes my presentation for tonight. I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay, council member, anybody have a question? Yeah, go ahead. Council member Gutierrez, go ahead.
Yes. Let's see. Okay. Well, thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'll be asking some questions to make sure this process is grounded in facts. And I just want to say that I do support the design. It's a very beautiful design, and I have nothing against the actual design or concept kind of thing. But my first question is to the city manager, acting city manager. Has the city conducted a full cost analysis comparing potential sites for the new fire station 1, including construction, land use, and relocation costs, before bringing this item forward for conceptual approval tonight?
No, we have not, Council Member.
Thank you. If no full analysis has been completed, wouldn't it be premature to move forward with approving a conceptual design, especially since I know there's been discussions about the need for a comprehensive cost comparison before committing to any location or design? Would you say that that's vital or important in the process to know how much it's going to cost?
A couple answers here. So yes, that is important. But what also should be taken into consideration is, my role sitting here for this community is we do need to build Fire Station 1.
Yes.
They're living in a temporary trailer right now, which is unacceptable.
Yes.
We have another fire station that needs immediate repairs. So with the conceptual design, one of the things that I had asked the architectural firm was, with this conceptual design, could this design be placed in different locations, built as you see today? So this design, whether it be placed on this corner, 4 blocks away or 10 blocks away, it could be the same as a conceptual design. So again, this is a vision. This is something I've committed to working with our fire department to bring forward.
Great. That's perfect. Yes. Yeah, because the design is beautiful. Okay. And has the city begun any preliminary environmental review under SECRA for this project, or has a consultant even been retained for that process for SECRA approval?
I'm not aware of that. City engineers, city engineers acknowledging we have not.
Okay. And if SECRA hasn't been started, let's see. Okay. So, and then this is just a statement. If SECRA review hasn't been started, how can we determine whether this location is even viable or compliant before approving the actual final conceptual plan? Because I think the staff report, if I'm not mistaken, is asking us tonight to potentially approve this design, but then allowing BBK to start the final steps of plans and detailed plans, correct?
I'm city engineer.
Good evening, council members. So yes, tonight's ask is for you to consider the concept that's been presented and then direct staff to move forward as you described with the construction drawing process. As part of that process, there would also be, as you mentioned, the CEQA documentation. So yes, you summarized it accurately.
Great. And I may have some more questions for engineering. Given that this project sits adjacent to a major freeway, has Caltrans been formally consulted or provided any preliminary feedback about potential access, safety, or environmental impacts?
You have not contacted Caltrans only because we control the right-of-way that we plan to access. So there would not need to be an encroachment permit process through Caltrans with what's being proposed.
Okay, and that's right outside that's an exit or entrance to the freeway?
On the
right across the street.
So it would be on the west side of West Covina Parkway. You're referring to the on and off ramp.
Yeah, and this is just hypothetically speaking. Let's just say there's a green light for traffic to get out of that freeway. Usually, right there, they're driving super fast. Then you have a fire truck coming out with their lights and sirens. Well, there's an a freeway exit just right there. I mean, wouldn't that be grounds just to at least ask Caltrans for their opinions about what we could do to potentially limit potential collisions there?
So I don't disagree that we could certainly reach out to Caltrans, but just to inform council, we're not obligated.
Exactly. Yes, but I think as a liability standpoint and to protect our firefighters, we'll want to probably get some of their input in that process. I know in the past staff has referenced, and I think today they talked about the sale of a city yard. Staff references the potential relocation of the public works yard, possibly near or on the former BKK landfill site. Has the city received formal state or regulatory clearances from CalRecycle or DTSC allowing public infrastructure on that site?
I'm not aware, and I cannot answer that question.
Okay, thank you. And I have a question for our fire department. Are they here today?
Fire department? Isn't it, Chief?
Great, thank you. And so my question to you, Assistant Chief, is when was the last official response time study completed for our fire stations? And have we considered commissioning a new one before finalizing the site for Fire Station 1 potential location?
I don't have the date on the last one that was created. We had worked on one when there was a possible plan to relocate Station 3 over to Larkell and Palmview Park.
Yes.
And so the most recent one I have no knowledge of.
Yeah, it would have been, I think, when I spoke to members, I think they stated that was the last time they did one. So that was about, 10 years ago?
Probably 10 years ago, yes.
Yeah. And just out of your professional experience, wouldn't updated response time data help ensure we're building in the location that's most effectively serves residents citywide and not just one district? I mean, I'm proud to have it in District 1, but at the same time, I think isn't it very important for, I think, the fire department to get an updated study to potentially know if that's the best location to put it at?
Yes, but when we're considering response times, it's not just a geographical distance anymore. A lot of times when we're working to serve the public and the community as a whole, we're looking at also the values, the density of the area, and how we could best get across the city in order to serve the public.
Yes, yeah, that's true, and that's, I think it's important. Okay, and okay, I think that's all the questions I have for you. And then let's see how many more. I have two more, or one more, I think. Was the public informed? And this is probably for our acting city manager. Was the public informed that approval of the conceptual design tonight will be authorized staff to move forward with full plans and specifications as stated in the staff report prior to that staff report becoming public?
I am not aware. I believe everybody gets notification at the same time once our agenda is posted and staff reports are publicized.
Great. And okay, great. And I'll just close by saying I want to reiterate I support our firefighters and I support improving our city's emergency infrastructure. But supporting public safety also means protecting public trust and taxpayer dollars. And all I'll say is, I'm not going to read that, but all I'll say is I think I love the concept. I think that we should, and this is just a recommendation, but I think we should approve that design, but then wait till we officially get a cost analysis. And I guess my last question, would you recommend that, that we get a cost analysis, our acting city manager?
Two parts on that, Councilmember Gutierrez. One, I really want to move forward with a can-do attitude with all the projects we bring forward. This is a vital component and essential to our community.
Yes.
The second part is I'd like to ask our finance director to come down and speak about funding, because at the end of the day, you are correct. We do have to pay for it.
Yes.
So I'll get some input from our finance director, who has been magnificent on finding funding sources for us.
Thank you.
We had a miracle.
Well, thank you. I just want to point out that this council has allocated $885,000 for the conceptual design for the Fire Station 1. These funds are from the ARPA. In other words, we must fully expend these funds no later than December 31st of 2026. I just want to make sure the council, as you already know, aware of the spending requirements.
It's a COVID-19 federal house. Okay,
absolutely, Honor. Yes, you're right.
Yes, and I think BBK. I think I spoke to you briefly, or maybe your other partner. But how much was this conceptual design going to cost taxpayers? I think you were in what? I think it was between 20 to 25 million. Is that correct? Yeah, the actual, I know you're using, based upon your best experience in construction and designing construction, how much do you estimate that this will cost us to build?
At a high level, right now we're tracking about 25 million.
25 million, okay. Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. But again, I think the last thing I'll just say is that I think it's a great design. I think we should support the design and then hopefully get a cost analysis to tell us where's the best location, and then do that fire study. And I think December 2026, I think that gives us a fast track process to get a lot of those studies done. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Brian,
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I know. Hold on. But I want to, respond to some of Council Member Gutierrez. Then I will go to you next. Would you please let me kind of share with some more information. I remembered the location. To pick this location, the previous fire chief, and fire chief Capelli, and that he said this is the location that he think about that would fit into what the need from moving Station 1 to over here. And he talked to, I think, the previous city manager, Dave Company, and then talked to the Paulina about this location. That's what the fire department picked. So you can verify with the acting chief Brown. I think he remember this is how he picked this location, because we city own this land. And so in that way we don't have to pay for it. So this is on if you go back to city manager can check the record. So that basically is from your previous fire chief picked this location. And another thing is, I think this is designed from BPK, and it's from last year. We approve you to work on this, because we have to allocate about the funding before they expire. And then the previous city manager, Dave Company, I think they basically, or Paulina, and have for us to approve. I think I remember it's 5-0 approve about this design and using $900,000. And I remember I have a problem with why it costs so much, because if this the design is copy and paste, but it looks like it's not that simple, because you have a lot of new design with a different location and then another different component. And the number 3 is, and the design is very grand. Of course it will cost money, but I think we talk about how we do different phase. Phase 1, 2, 3. And the phase 1 is construction of the shelf. And then, phase 2 is, since we have a ambulance, I think, they, fire department, they willing to do MOU with the a ambulance and with our city, finance directors to put this fleet. So hopefully they will bring revenue with $8 million a year with the service. And that is how the funding. So the first funding is we can have to sell the city yard with a $20 million or more. Hopefully we can get $30 million. With that money basically, and to utilize, construction of the first phase. And then every construction take time. SECRA, et cetera, is all taking time. So that is going to accumulate so-called phase 2, which we accumulate with, under our ambulance funding, and to put on the phase 2 is inside of all those devices, very expensive too. So, and number 3 is what they want is emergency operation center. And we, again, phase 1 is just build a shell. to build outside. But the number 3 is basically going to, the possible the 3 years, and then we continue hopefully with accumulate with our ambulance that bring the revenue to equip, in our civic center with operation, and emergency operation center. And that costs a lot of money too, because it's a lot of device, computers, and this and lab monitoring, but life is extremely valuable to save life, and with proper planning, and with our outstanding finance director Karen, don't sneak away, so maybe you can come to share with some of the life with us about how we complete this project with a different phase. And see, maybe you can share with us. And again, we already approved previously to approve the BPK to design, and then location picked by their fire chief previously. And with this location, and is that feasible with a different phase? And because construction won't overnight to build. Rome doesn't build in one night. And one day build time, and the time meaning when you build, at the same time you accumulate your funding by the ambulance resource, this and that, and then with 2-3 years, hopefully, we saw it. The Performing Arts Center took about 4-5 years. Hopefully this one won't take that long, because we need a fire station to serve, and especially for the people, currently the firefighter live in the trailer. For 2-3 years already, this is pretty outrageous, because we need to hurry up. We cannot stagnate, and it's totally, out of compliance. So we need to do something, and hopefully this, can be achievable and with a proper planning. Go ahead. You want to share some light with us?
I do appreciate the fact that we're looking at utilizing city land, and we don't have to go out and purchase that. So that's definitely cost savings.
50% off, because the land costs a lot of money.
We own the city yard too, so it's both city property.
That's great. City property, if that could be utilized, I think that would be a very feasible way of approaching this. The fact that it's in phases, it gives us an opportunity to evaluate what other revenue options that we can have available, or what other cost savings we can possibly do. There's a lot of items that we have in our CIP projects that can be deferred if this is the council's preference and priority. And that's another options that we have to analyze. We do need to have a cost analysis to figure out what the cost is and how it's going to be in phase.
Correct.
In addition to that, we can look at other revenue options. If there are any other options available to the city that could possibly be utilized for this construction of the fire station as well.
Would you please? Yeah. So basically, we have a proper planning and different phase, and make sure, because the initiate, is you need to have that $10-20 million to start in this construction, and so right now, state or federal won't give us a dime. So in that way, we have to depend on ourselves. I understand this corner was trying to sell to some builder for a couple $1 million, and about 15-17 years ago. And then, not going to work. So right now we still own the land. I think perfectly, that this can be by the fire station, by the fire chief, due to, possible this is a better location, to serve to save life, not only the freeway part, all the places on their district. So in that way, this, tonight we're going to approve is the design of this, and showing to our fire department or firefighter that we care. We are not going to continue to stagnate and talk and no action. We are basically, we're going to build, and no matter this location or that location, but we have to build a station one, because the property has been condemned. And so in that way, and we cannot continue to have our firefighter live in the trailer. And I think this is the issue. We, as a city council, we have to really to make a decision to make sure we are moving. We not continue to stagnate and this and that, since we have a beautiful design. And I can see this red brick is matching with the library. So it's entire complex with our Superior Court, okay, and then library, civic center. So it is basic, and with the ambulance over there, you really can taking care entire the region, and plus, okay, visible showing the pride of West Covina. So makes sense to you?
Yes, and also we have to keep in mind that hopefully in 26, 27, Texas Roadhouse comes in. So that's the $3 million that we did not include.
Yes, so we can use the money.
We don't know yet, but hopefully in 26.
I know, we don't count the money we don't have, right? Yeah.
But we potentially could have $3 million.
I just wait for the.
And that's in addition to our reoccurring revenues that we currently have.
I know, and I think this is Texas Roadhouse. Possible we bring in some revenue, but we have so many hungry mouths. We have to utilize $3 million. Speaking true, is really not that much of money compared with our budget. And plus, okay, we have the station number 3, and that one need a big help too. And hopefully we can find some resource to kind of redo the station 3. But right now, the urgency is the station number 1 due to the firefighters leaving the trailer and it's out of compliance. Okay, so hopefully we can show them the city council is moving. We are not going to be, play the politics about moving to improve our city in the future. Thank you. And Ollie, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. In light of the answers to the questions that Mr. Gutierrez had
yes.
In light of the
go ahead.
In light of the answers to the questions that Mr. Gutierrez posed, I'd like to move that we delay approval of this until which time we have a full cost analysis and that we look at all of the options, literally, namely the cost of building on the sportsplex, on the city yard, and on the city hall campus site as we had asked for previously. This is premature doing this now, and the numbers can change. We need to have a cost analysis. Plus, on top of that, in light of the need for us, although not required, for us to check with Caltrans as well as with CEQA and to do those things, for us to have a comprehensive approach. So that way we don't just do this haphazardly and piecemeal. It's just a matter of making sure to do this properly. And by making this motion, it is not because I don't care about the firefighters. It's because I absolutely do. And we have to do this properly because the more we have a budgetarily prudent approach, the better it is for them and for us to build as quickly as we can. So with that, I'd like to move that we delay approval of this until that comprehensive cost is done and until we have CEQA approval and that we have consulted with Caltrans to get their feedback.
So you want to move the motion to postpone this?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second? Yeah, go ahead.
I have one question. Councilman Cantos, are you saying that in other words, you're okay with the conceptual design, but you just want, all you're asking for that before we give, that's a bad angle, but before we give the final of approval, which is what the staff report is saying, is we as a council, do we authorize BBK to start drawing the final plans?
Yes. Before we do that, we need to have this process first in order that we have all information available to us which would impact that. And then we can go forward. But I love the design that was described. But yes, that's exactly right. Okay.
And if I may ask a quick question, BBK, I think you, I don't know if it was you I spoke to, but I think you stated that BBK is capable of doing a cost analysis, correct? I think you guys will be able to assist our city in getting that done.
I think that word might be relative or subjective. We're doing probable cost of the construction, but the cost analysis I think everybody's referring to is more of a holistic thing on site and impact
I can answer that. Okay, for construction, they are architect. Mm-hmm. After the design, they have to go to the contractor. Mm-hmm. So we have to find a contractor to give us an estimate. Possible we have to find 3 or 4 legit contractors to see how much it will cost us, and then based on their experience, this and that. Mm-hmm. Right now, basically, we just approve conceptual design, and I think that is important to show. That we are moving and the design, but all the analysis, this and that, you have to come.
So I think that's what Oli's asking for. It's just not giving BBK the green light to draw the final plans, like like where the pipes go, where the wires go.
Of course, but right now is we approve this conceptual design. If it is okay, then we follow through with analysis, etc., etc.
Yeah, okay.
Where's the money?
Yeah.
So in that way, okay, we should approve the conceptual design.
Yes.
Okay, rather than delay. Because you delay, then you have nothing to going on.
Yeah.
It's a conceptual design. After that, then we are going to have them to continue to find out is selling the land, is feasible, moving to how much we're moving, this and that.
Yeah.
So we have the number and plus some basic analysis how much it will cost us with different phase. Phase
So
one,
maybe,
phase two,
so Ole, are you just so I understand correctly, Ole, you're saying that you approve the conceptual design, just not authorizing the final
He want to delay. He want to postpone it. He doesn't want to make it.
Want to completely no, I thought it was just approving conceptual design, not authorizing final.
Not authorizing final until we get the cost.
So you want to approve the design?
Yes, but because I like the design, but just without moving forward with the final step until we get the cost analysis.
So you want to approve the design?
Yes.
Okay, and then so you approve the design, but at the same time you want the city to look into the analysis, the cost, etc.
Yes.
Okay, and that is okay with you? He doesn't care.
Okay.
So you
I'll
want a second?
Yes.
So we have approved. Okay, go ahead, City Manager.
Can you clarify the motion?
The motion is to approve the conceptual design, and then the city to move into about analysis, the cost, and then bring back to us, and then we approve, the detail, etc.
Yeah,
and
not
but
not
at least
approving the final.
At least we
final
approve
draw.
Exactly
the design.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, we approve the design and the city to go into the detail cost analysis. Okay, and then how much we can sell the land, and where is the money coming from? What is the different phase? So we have a plan.
Yes.
And then with that plan, then we approve the detail.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, you second?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, and roll call, please.
Yeah, first from Councilman Contos, a second from Councilmember Gutierrez. Roll call vote, Councilman Contos.
So basically, the motion is approve the conceptual design.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and then city, and city to go into the detail, so the fire department understand we are moving on.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to delay no. We approve this city to go to get the detail, finance, and moving this and that into including the BKK. Okay, is feasible and check everything. Okay, and everything have the detail and come back to us to get a approval or option. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Councilwoman Diaz.
Isn't that the normal process? First you get your design,
Supposed to
and
be,
then you go through steps, right? You go through
Yes.
phases. So that's pretty much what we're approving, right?
Yes.
I think what we're doing is we don't have to argue over here. Is just get the design approved. Okay, and then after approval, then city manager, and finance director have to give us an analysis. Okay, how much for the land? Okay, how much is this? How much it costs roughly? The phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay, and it's safe with the plan, and then we decide to continue. Okay, and make sure we can sell the land, and then we can construction starting doing breakground.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
And just to put in there also just with the CEQA, checking with CEQA compliance as well as voluntarily just checking with Caltrans.
Yes. Okay. Of course. Okay. And our engineer to make sure Caltrans won't be our burden because we don't want to approve detail and Caltrans say okay. But I understand. Okay, we can control the traffic.
Yes.
Okay, because my understanding. All the intersection that the fire station can control the traffic to become red light, and so fire engine can come out without any potential accident or anything. Make sense?
Yes.
Everybody agree on that? Okay. So, and any other question you have? Any other? Okay. If not,
roll call vote.
Enough for detailed. Okay.
Okay, we're going to do this one more time. I have a first from Councilman Contos, a second from Councilmember Gutierrez. Councilman Contos.
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado.
Aye.
Mayor Wu.
Aye, and congratulations. We love the design. It's beautiful. And now we just have to make it happen because it sounds like very expensive, but we just have to find the money. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Bruce, appreciate it. And we go to number 10. There's a resilient fire. Okay, the public safety presentation and an update on commercial and the residential property.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Matthew Ariza, Public Safety Manager, will do the presentation. As well, I note that this is a Mother May I from Mayor Pro Tem Leti Viado Lopez and also from Oli Contos in a subsequent year to do this presentation. So one of the commitments the staff has made is to get caught up on all the Mother May I's that have been waiting to be brought before the council. So I'll turn it over to Matthew Ariza at this time.
Thank you, Acting City Manager. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Wu, Mayor Pro Tem Lopez Viado, members of the City Council, city staff, and residents. My name is Matthew Riza, and I serve as the Public Safety Manager for the City of West Covina. As requested by the City Council, I'm here this evening to present an overview of the Public Safety Department's roles, responsibilities, goals, and to provide insight into how our team collaborates with property owners, managers, business owners, and community partners to maintain safety and compliance throughout our city. Next slide, please. Oh, actually, that's the correct slide. The Public Safety Department operates as a key support division with the City of West Covina, focusing on code enforcement, community outreach, and quality of life improvement efforts. Our department's mission is simple: to ensure that West Covina remains a safe, clean, and vibrant community by upholding city codes, educating residents and businesses, and taking proactive measures to prevent blight and unsafe conditions. We work closely with the police department, fire department, public works, building and safety, planning, and engineering to address a wide range of issues from property maintenance and nuisance abatement to public safety coordination during citywide events. Our department's primary functions include investigating and resolving violations related to property maintenance, zoning, and municipal code compliance, partnering with residents and business owners to provide resources, guidance, and voluntary compliance opportunities before moving into formal enforcement, supporting public safety efforts alongside West Covina Police Department, Hope Team, and other departments to address homelessness, graffiti, and neighborhood concerns, working with Athens, Vector Control, Caltrans, and LA County partners to address regional concerns that impact our city's image and livability. Next slide, please. Our team emphasizes an education-first approach to compliance. We recognize that... Next slide. There we go. Our team emphasizes an education-first approach to compliance. We recognize that most violations are not intentional and that many property owners and business operators are willing to work with us once they understand the requirements and the reasoning behind them. To that end, our officers take deliberate steps to establish and maintain open lines of communication with all parties involved. These steps often include mailing notices of violation or courtesy notices that clearly outline the concern, the applicable code section, and corrective action required, leaving business cards when no one is available on site, ensuring property owners have a clear point of contact for follow-up, contacting property owners and business owners by email or phone to introduce ourselves, explain the issue, and discuss potential solutions, speaking directly with business staff or property representatives during field inspections to clarify expectations, provide resources, and answer questions. This communication process allows our department to resolve the majority of violations voluntarily, without the need for punitive measures. Only when those efforts are unsuccessful do we proceed with formal enforcement actions, such as citations, administrative hearings, or abatement. Throughout the entire process, we maintain a focus on transparency, professionalism, and collaboration, ensuring that both the city and the property owners are working toward the same goal, a safer and more attractive West Covina. In West Covina, our commercial corridors play a vital role in shaping the city's image and economic health. Ensuring these areas remain clean, well-maintained, and code compliant is one of the department's top priorities. Some of the most common commercial property violations our team address include peeling or deteriorating paint, damaged stucco, faded signage, or unmaintained landscaping that negatively affects the appearance of our commercial areas. Tags or defacement on walls, dumpsters, or utility enclosures that require prompt abatement within 48 hours as outlined in West Covina Municipal Code Section 26-584. Overflowing dumpsters, litter around enclosures, and lack of regular waste service, often in violation of property maintenance standards. Storage of vehicles in parking lots for extended periods, creating visual blight and safety hazards. Non-functioning exterior lighting, unsecured vacant units, and lack of visible addresses, which create safety concerns for both the public and responding personnel. Temporary or ripped outdated banners and pennant flags, cracked asphalt, faded striping, or missing accessible parking markings that fall below safety and accessibility standards. Each of these conditions is addressed to the city's municipal code, most often under Section 26-584, which establishes the minimum standards for commercial property upkeep. By addressing these issues, we help protect property values, support our local businesses, and maintain a positive visual environment that reflects the city's commitment to community pride and public safety. Once a violation is identified, our approach focuses on collaboration, education, and accountability. The goal remains to achieve voluntary compliance whenever possible. But when cooperation is not achieved, the department takes necessary enforcement action to protect public safety and city standards. Our process generally includes the following steps: initial contact and courtesy notice. Officers first attempt direct communication with property or business owners by email, phone, or in-person contact to explain the violation and offer time to correct it voluntarily. Formal notice of violation. If the issue persists, a notice of violation is issued and mailed to the responsible party. The notice includes code references, photographs, and compliance deadlines. Reinspection and follow-up. Staff conduct follow-up inspections to verify corrective action has been taken. When progress isn't made, additional outreach or written extensions may be provided to encourage resolution. Citation and administrative hearing. Continued noncompliance results in the issuance of administrative citations with the option for a hearing before an independent hearing officer to ensure fairness and due process. City prosecutor referral and legal remedies. For chronic, hazardous, or unresponsive cases, the matter is referred to the city prosecutor's office for review. Depending on the severity and history of violations, the city may pursue criminal complaints for continued noncompliance, abatement warrants to enter and remedy unsafe conditions, receivership actions for severely neglected or abandoned properties, and cost recovery measures through liens or civil judgment. This process ensures that the city has both the administrative and legal tools necessary to uphold community standards while maintaining fairness, transparency, and accountability throughout every stage of enforcement. Beyond enforcement, the Public Safety Department continues to focus on revitalizing and enhancing commercial properties throughout West Covina. These efforts go beyond issuing citations. They're about improving safety, supporting business, and restoring community pride through collaboration and consistency. Recent efforts include West Covina Village, Workman and Azusa. The shopping center experienced ongoing issues with dumpsters being left outside of their trash enclosure areas, which created blight and attracted unwanted activity. After meeting with property management, staff reinforced proper waste handling and enclosure use. Additionally, we've discussed new landscaping in the parking lot islands and converting the non-operational water fountains to decorative planters. These improvements will enhance aesthetics, discourage loitering, and promote a cleaner, more welcoming environment for patrons. South Hills Plaza. This property will undergo routine landscape maintenance and exterior building painting, refreshing its overall appearance and helping ensure consistency with the surrounding corridor. The Heights Shopping Center. Ongoing collaboration with management continues to focus on graffiti deterrence and beautification, including artificial screening to protect wall surfaces and maintain corridor aesthetics. Spotless Burger, 400 South Glendora Avenue. This property has long been an eyesore to the community, remaining vacant for several years. With recent amendment to the city's moratorium, the property owner can now actively pursue a viable tenant. Revitalizing this property remains a top priority as it occupies a prominent corner along the Glendora corridor. Glendora Avenue Alley. Staff is beginning to work with apartment owners to upgrade alleyway lighting, improving visibility, and deterring loitering, vandalism, and after-hours illicit activity. Each of these projects demonstrate how department prioritizes education, outreach, and proactive improvement, ensuring West Covina's commercial centers remain vibrant, attractive, and safe for the community. As we look ahead into 2026, the Public Safety Department remains committed to innovation, accountability, transparency, and collaboration. Our focus will continue to balance community engagement and proactive enforcement to improve the quality of life for residents and business owners citywide. Some of our key upcoming initiatives include enhanced business outreach and compliance visits. We will continue to strengthen our relationships with commercial property owners and business owners through proactive outreach and on-site inspections. Our goal is to create a consistent communication model where owners are informed, supported, and engaged before violations arise. Citywide aesthetic and maintenance standards. The department will collaborate closely with planning, public works, and economic development to ensure that commercial corridors such as Amar, Azusa, Glendora, West Covina Parkway, including others, reflect consistent and high-quality standards. This includes improving signage uniformity, trash enclosure standards, and property appearance. Community engagement and education. The department plans to launch more public awareness campaigns, including property maintenance reminders, information for business owners and residents, and seasonal outreach efforts to encourage voluntary compliance and community pride. In closing, I want to acknowledge the dedicated staff who represent the Public Safety Department daily. Their professionalism, consistency, and compassion continue to make a positive impact on our community. Together with Council's leadership and the ongoing support of our city departments and residents, we are strengthening public safety, protecting property values, and preserving the overall quality of life in West Covina. Thank you, and I'm open to any questions.
Very good. Thank you for the presentation. And City Council, any question? Okay, and Mayor Pro Tem Letty Lopez-Viado.
Thank you. So I do appreciate the revitalization. Just wanting to double check, does all violations have photos included?
Do all violations have photos included?
So when
Yes.
businesses and residents, they get their citation, photos are included?
They're attached to the notice.
For every notice, right?
For every notice, yes.
And I'll put on the record, I know, like, on our streets, including myself, they would send that out. So I've received one, but your citation that you receive, there's no cost. So some people think, oh, they got this citation that they have to pay a fee right away, but they ask for voluntary compliance. So I know a lot of the neighbors I saw was cleaning up their items. But my question is, do you have any organizations that you partner up with to assist residents that are not able to comply? So, I know when weed abatement and all that stuff, if it's like the elderly, if there's a physical concern or a income level, do you have organizations to assist them so that they can comply?
We do partner with West Covina Beautiful at least once to twice a year. It's an organization here in West Covina. They have addressed numerous properties, and they're currently addressing properties now. And we're working together closely. And we knocked one out in the service area 3 locations, and we're continuing to work. And then this goes for all parts of West Covina. And we do have a couple more properties to go. So, given the extent of the case and the severity, those usually rise to the top of the list for this organization.
Okay, so residents, does that say that on the citation, like if they need assistance or help, that they can reach out to you to get that assistance and help?
It does not, no. However, residents are encouraged to contact their handling code enforcement officer or public safety officer for more information.
Okay, so you'll let them know. And I think that's it that I have. Thank you.
Okay, and next speaker. Okay, and you don't have anything? Oh, I cannot believe it.
Mr. Mayor. Oh.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay, Councilman Ollie.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really love that you're the one, Matt, giving this presentation. I want to say to the community, to the world, basically here, Matthew Ariza has been unbelievable. He has withstood my hundreds of emails And, and really, he follows up on literally everything. And I really appreciate the presentation, which it frankly doesn't do justice to all the amazing things you do way beyond. I mean, so much. And so just wanted a few quick follow-up items substantively. For South Hills Plaza, can you also please add the landscape maintenance, because there are lots of patches of dirt there that need to be filled in. Just dirt, just slabs, but there isn't any dirt. So can that please be added to the review, please?
Absolutely, and thank you for the kind words, Councilman. I truly appreciate it. South Hills Plaza, I was actually out there today with property management. They will be addressing all the islands throughout the property, and not only that, they look to paint the property as well come the first quarter of 2026, which should look lovely. And it's on our list of items that the property management needs to address. So yes, it will be added.
Thank you. And as another follow-up, Councilwoman Diaz and I found issues with Regal, and I know that we gave them extra time. Has that now been fixed with the lighting of the signage and so forth, and other issues there that we brought to your attention?
I don't have that answer for you right now, Councilman Contos. I haven't been out to the property as of late, but I will follow up and provide that for you tomorrow or the next day.
Thank you.
As I get out there to verify that the lighting at night is sufficient.
Great.
Including the sign as well.
Thank you. And lastly, just for your information, Boy Scout Troop 724 is willing to give service hours to support residents with basic yard work and other things with whatever people need. So that just could be another resource. But thank you so very, very much for all of your team's work. It's making a difference every literal day. And thank you again. I apologize for the mental health issues it could cause with sending hundreds of emails, but it's just really, you guys are incredible. Your entire team is amazing. I'm a super fan of yours, and I'm really appreciative to you on behalf of the residents who come to us all the time, how quickly you respond to residents' issues. So thank you so much. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilman Oli Canto. I'm glad you didn't CC to me. Otherwise, I will have a mental issue. Okay, because there are hundreds of them, and I have to read. Okay, and let's go to the Mayor Pro Tem. Go first, and then go to you.
Okay, thank you. And code enforcement does keep our city beautiful, clean, and so I just want to thank you. But I had a question. If someone calls for a violation on a specific resident or business, does the staff, code enforcement staff, when they arrive, are they only looking at that one business or resident? Or when they arrive, of course, they look at that, but do they also might as well take a look at the surrounding and neighbors as well?
That's correct. If there's a call on one specific property, obviously the street would need to be surveyed as well. If somebody calls in on a specific property, for example, trash containers, obviously if there's multiple trash containers out, a notice would go out accordingly to the entire street, yes. And again, depending on if we're going for a specific inspection on, landscape for a dead, unmaintained lawn, something of that sort, we survey the street as well.
The dead and maintained lawns, I know when they're trying to conserve water, are you also partnering up with the landscape that provides additional resource turfs and everything that you can let residents know?
We encourage drought-tolerant landscape, actually. It's less maintenance and conserves water and looks nice. So we do encourage drought-tolerant. And again, we do obviously work with the property owners to understand where they're coming from with conserving water, and we provide significant time to address the lawn, give it time, time to water the lawn if that's the issue, and hear them out and work together.
Okay. I mean, if you could partner up with the organizations I know that provides those items at low cost, or they have those yearly annual events where they give out free items to the community, if you can bring that to also consist of that location, that issue. And if you could also kindly assist our business owner, Doug, to answer some of his questions. And
I definitely heard him in the back,
okay.
And I will be talking to him directly.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. Matthew, thank you so much for everything you do for us. I really appreciate it. And I have a date for you for the Edward Cinema sign. Their deadline is October the 15th. So just to let you know.
Absolutely. It's on my calendar as
You can
well.
follow. Okay, good. Okay, thank you again, and thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, one last.
I haven't. Hold on. I haven't speak. Okay. Give me a chance.
Are you so
Okay.
excited?
I'm really quick.
Yes, sir.
I'll be quick. Okay, and on the Azusa Avenue on the north side. Okay, all the shopping mall, including the Workman Village, or you call it West Covina Village. I think they call Workman Village. Okay, and you can see inside is it needs some help. Okay, and then you continue to go to, West Covina area of shopping mall in the area. Okay, and some of them really need help. Okay, I think that, you maybe can talk to the manager or owner over there, let them to help us, to fix up the area. Once upon a time, I remember when I moved in 1989, that was our downtown. You have a Tony Roma, the rib, you have the steakhouse, and you have Chuck E. Cheese, and my kids so young, and we have a stroller, we always go over there. And now it kind of go to the south side decade. So hopefully we can help them, to see, at least clean it up and look more invited so we don't have a homeless, population over there, and they look very kind of obsolete. So that is one issue. Another one, possible you go to the south side. There were Ama and Azusa. And you can see on the north side of Seafood, and Plaza, and the south side with the grocery outlet, and that area needs some help too. So hopefully, have tell the owner, and they need to kind of clean up the area. And you can see, and they have a lot of homeless, population around the area. So maybe we can help the owner over there, business owner over there to see how we can help them. So the business can survive. And otherwise, the business over there come and go, and it's really no good for them because they try to do a good business, also restaurant. So hopefully we can help them with our public safety, and department, and to help all those business. And who want to speak? I forgot. Okay, Brian, you have to speak. Okay, go ahead.
Only two. But thank you, Officer Raza, for all the great work you've been doing in our community and for stepping up while Mylan leads the city as our acting city manager. You guys are both doing a remarkable job, and I commend you both for the work you continue to do. And maybe there's a way to maybe residents like Doug who have concerns, and maybe there's a way to develop something on our website to ask. I mean, is there a process currently, or maybe something we could put on our website that the residents could email asking for a review of the citation they received, so upper management like yourself is able to verify if it's a valid enforcement or not?
That's a great idea. We don't have that capability now. On the letters, it has the officer's name and contact info. Should the person who receives the letter have any questions, and that's what the letter entails. If you do have any questions, please call this officer. We have our city line. We have our the officer's direct line as well. And my information's here as well. If you have any questions at all, any resident has any issues, please bring it to my attention. But we can look into maybe a website function while we
maybe even a dedicated email address or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Councilmember? So if a resident or a business receives an administrative citation, that's typically the third, fourth, fifth step in the process. Once a citation is issued, the appellate rights are included on the citation.
Okay, great.
And under state law and court decision Haas versus San Bernardino, each person that is cited has due process and the right to appeal to an independent hearing officer. So if someone disputes one of the citations issued by the city, it goes before an independent hearing officer. It can be either a written review, telephonic, or an in-person.
Yeah.
The citation itself, if we get to that point, it's not reviewed by city staff. It's through an independent hearing officer.
Yeah, and I'm assuming just like the police department, if someone says, I would like to speak to your supervisor, then obviously there's a process to escalate it too, right?
Yeah, I was referring to the notice, like if they receive a notice.
Yeah, like a regular notice too.
A citation would be different.
Or a notice, yeah. Okay, perfect.
Very good. Okay, yes. But I think so, as my memory, regarding, we talk about the number, the website, when we're going to roll out our website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the so-called smart city, right? Okay, and that supposed to be coming out and then roll out. Last time the presentation say roll out in October. Okay.
We're still in October. We're still with
I know,
same
but
deadline.
We are in October, but quickly will become November.
And our parks
would you please contact them, and we can add into maybe your the website, and regarding the citation, and they can check into their process, this and that, or they can upload some picture, etc., etc. So in that way, we're talking about. Okay, and the smart city and the 724 or 24/7, and during the state of the city, we mentioned about that. Hey, we work on less speech. We don't want to be a liar.
Absolutely not.
We need to deliver what we promise.
Yes.
Okay, and then please.
ADA compliant.
Each department has been given the keys to their sections, and so they have been updating and uploading information that's relevant to their department.
Can you give us a timeline when they are going to come so we can have a Matthew? Okay, so we got this email, we got this website, we get designate for code enforcement or
they have their own specific page. Code enforcement has their own specific page. They've been assigned. Staff has already been trained, so code enforcement has their own specific page that's been assigned in their areas.
Got it.
Their permissions have been granted, correct? Yeah. And they've been trained on the website. So on the new website, so they're just populating and importing information right now.
So when you think the time we can see the presenter come back, the designer come back to give a presentation, okay, and when this thing can roll out?
We plan on rolling out the website before the end of October. It'll be ready to go live with the public. If the council wishes to call the consultant back, I mean, we most certainly can. But at this point, it's been handed over to city staff.
Okay. I think, the end of October. So hopefully by 20-something, we should have something going on. So are you guys okay with that? Okay, we can now rush. Okay, I want to do it right now, but they want to do it at the end. Okay, yeah, Brian.
Yeah, and I'll just say, last thing I'll say is, I think you guys have been doing a great job. I think you guys have also been patrolling our public parks throughout the whole city. Correct? Right?
Yeah.
Great. That's great. Yeah. So you guys have been very instrumental to our police department. So thank you.
Okay, very good. Because public safety department is become assist our public safety. But would you please, when you see, I see so many of shopping cart, can you just notify to pick it up so I don't have to report in? So by your staff. And other than that, we see and fire. And other than that,
Mr. Mayor, just one last follow-up item.
No, you're not allowed. Kaden, go ahead.
Matt, if you can please do follow-up on Plaza West Covina. I don't know if you might have sent something, but I haven't seen it yet. But if you can just make sure that they clean up their parking garage services per our prior communications, that would be great.
Absolutely, Councilman.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Matthew. Okay, I see you soon. Okay, and this we see and fire. We don't have to do anything. So we're done with our consent calendar. No, we're done with our department matter thing. So now we go into AB 123. We don't have that. Okay, then we go to the council request and comment. Yeah, go ahead. You have some?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I saw and read that there was supposed to be some sort of presentation by the Rotary Club, and I looked it up, and I guess they did some community services in our local parks. So I was just asked if the mayor could recognize them at the next meeting.
I will think about that. Okay, currently not interested. Okay, maybe next mayor. Okay, thank you. Okay, and when you become a mayor, you can invite anybody you want.
Yeah. Okay, but they did good for our community.
Maybe. Okay, so, but otherwise we have to recognize almost everybody. Okay, so anyway, other than that, who next? Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
Ollie, go ahead.
Actually, he beat me to it. I'm appreciative to you, Mr. Mayor, for talking in the past about brotherhood and sisterhood. But in this case, by removing the Rotary Club, you remove the brotherhood and sisterhood of people who participated with more than 40 people helping with the Ridge Riders. I'm really sad that they weren't recognized. And I realize you have the option, but that would have been an opportunity to rise above, past the politics and really talk
I understand
about
it's not in the politics, okay, because my understanding they only went to Mexico to give a laptop. I don't know, they did 40 people this and that. I don't have any information. Okay, I just have people say they want to recognize them, but I say what they performed, and if they want to, they can go to Mexico to give laptop. Why not give to West Covina children? Okay, and that's what my question to the acting city manager about. Okay, and if somebody want to be recognized, show me what they have done. Okay, if they done, okay, for example, do this and that, and if that, I don't know, I don't have any information. Okay, I just have to recognize them. Okay, but my understanding, they went to Mexico to build some elementary and give laptop. That's my understanding there is. But I prefer the people will donate to our West Covina children because we have so many needed children, need help, need laptop, need a scholarship. I think if they can do it, then I will happily to recognize them. Okay, so in that way, it's not about the politics, it's about what have you help our local resident. I hope you understand, and this is my description about to be fair to everybody is what you contribute, okay, to the West Covina city and our community.
I will be happy to provide that. It's
okay,
on our
if you can show to me, and then okay, and I will see is that worth it to my recognition or my presentation. But again, I hope they can do for our children rather than all the country. Okay, other than that,
just to clarify that, I think the reason why they were put on there was specifically for the park work. Am I wrong, city manager? Or I mean, I think a bunch of people were removed from the agenda off one order, but specifically regarding the park, specifically regarding the Rotary Club, were they being recognized for the work they did at our West Covina Park, or for something? This is the first time I'm hearing about Mexico.
They did complete and volunteer to do work at Ridge Riders and Maverick Field, the park, their equestrian park. They replaced and repaired fencing and painted.
So anyway, show me the information and show me what they've done. Okay, and then we from there. Okay. So okay, and other than that, let's go to what other council member comment, or Mother, may I? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank our staff for having the Moon Festival event. I know that it was done at last minute, and I'm sure there was a lot of pressure on them to make sure that they have this done. So I just want to thank our staff for doing that. You know, I know that they worked hard on that. So I just want to tell them I appreciate that. And that's it.
Okay, next comment. If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I have one more.
Oh,
sorry. Can they? I think if they could double check the camera systems, and then I think residents were complaining that there was a backlog on Spectrum, so maybe IT could look into that.
Okay, look into the streamline, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yes, and the
cable
system.
The cable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see. Okay, I don't know mine, but when I see Letty, you have a major close up. Okay, maybe you should zoom out a little bit. Okay, I don't know why. I don't want my face that big on the TV. And I saw the Dia. Okay, no, you are much smaller. You have a full body. Okay, and she only have a face.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know mine. Okay, I haven't checked mine yet.
I mean, what's the side of the head?
So hopefully we all can be a little bit more distance. We don't need a close up. Okay, I don't want to scare people. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, and
motion.
Okay, and second. Okay, meeting adjourned. Okay, thank you. I see you guys next time.